Hi everyone, it's Haley from HHHxoArt, and I just wanted to show you all how to properly join a round and then start the next round. So if you are doing a piece that does not work in continuous rounds, this would be the typical way to join those rounds and then begin your next round. And sometimes artists will specify that there's a different way to do it in their pattern, but this is usually what is done if it's not specified in any other way. So you can see here I've got 6 single crochets inside of a magic ring. If you need help learning how to do a magic ring or magic circle, there is a tutorial for that that I made. Feel free to check it out. But once you're here, I have not connected them yet. The ring is pulled tight. This was the last single crochet I made. So instead of just working into this next stitch, which would be this one right here, or first stitch of these 6 single crochets I made, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook and I'm going to make a slip stitch, which means I'm going to yarn over and grab this loop, pull it through the stitch, also pull it through the loop that was on my hook, like that. So now I've connected it. I have a little circle. So if you're continuing in single crochets, which usually you will be, chain 1. And then this is where a lot of people get confused because it's kind of hard to see the stitch that you just slip stitched to, but that is part of our 6 single crochets. So the first stitch that you want to go into when you're doing your next single crochet is this one right here. Right there, it's the same one that you slip stitched to. Don't skip that one unless you're specified in the pattern to skip that one. So you go into that, do your single crochet. If this was a round of increases, you would do 1 more in that same spot. Then you would continue around 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now what you're left with is something that almost looks like another single crochet, but it's actually not. It's your slip stitch from the last round. This is your next single crochet that you want to go into. If you have trouble at the beginning identifying this, you can either mark your first stitch just so you know which one to slip stitch into, or you can count your stitches. So I started with 6 and did an increase in each stitch, which means I should have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which ends right here. This would be 13, which wouldn't make sense. So you're not going to go into this. Instead, you go into that first single crochet of this round. Again, yarn over, pull through the stitch, through the loop on your hook, and there you go. Now you've connected your next round. So you chain 1 and continue in this manner. You will get a little bit of a seam when you work pieces like this. It's not super noticeable, but it is more noticeable than if you're working in the round. But a lot of patterns call for this, and your stitch counts can get messed up if you start single crocheting into the next stitch as opposed to this stitch that's actually the first one. Again, the same one you slip stitched into. So hopefully this helps with joining rounds when you're working on crochet pieces. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I will try to help you out. Thanks for listening.